sending an SCV across the map. And his opponent across the map is our Teal Protoss, RNG's doohickey. Vespasian here, sending out his SCV, stopping by both Sonaga Towers, and he's sending out a second one now, so... And as we saw against Saber here on Overgrowth, he's just going to go for the barracks right here, right into the closest possible position for the Reapers to be without being like in the natural. Oh, and doohickey barely not seeing it with that first probe. He might see it on a second pass. We'll see. He's probably going to send this around towards the third, though. Not sure where he's going to be going with it. If he gets the scout off, he's going to be in fantastic shape, though. He doesn't send it to the third, sending it across the map now. Not being as thorough as he kind of needs to be against a player like Vespasian. When he gets across the map and sees that there's no barracks at home, though, he's going to know something is up. Vespasian, no gas down yet, actually, so this is just going to be Marines, actually. Interesting. I wonder if he's just going to lift the barracks up into the main and then build Marines from there. That'd be interesting to see. That might work out. I don't know. It can be kind of hard if you start to lose your momentum. You can't really rebuild your Marine count and swing in if you do that. The SCV moving up to the high ground now after finishes building the barracks, and it's going to build a bunker right here on the ramp as doohickey starts the cybernetics core. And he's just still probing up. See what he gets. He's scouted over on Vespasian's side of the map now, seeing that there's absolutely nothing going on over there in the way of barracks or anything. So Vespasian pulls 3 additional SCVs, so he's got 5 coming across the map now. With the support here, and Vespasian setting up his position here now. As doohickey, the problem for him right now is that cybernetics core is very vulnerable to Marine fires. Probes get pulled to deny this bunker here, but that's the second bunker. So that first bunker is going to be able to kill all these probes by the time they do anything, and there's so many SCVs headed across the map, that second bunker is definitely going to go up. So the first Zealot's out, the Mothership core is on the way now, and doohickey needs to defeat this now, or it's going to snowball out of control here. Bunker, he's actually targeting down the actual bunker itself as the Zealot almost dead. He's got 7 health left, 2 more Marine shots is going to kill it. He's got to dance it away as he's picking off these probes one by one. And now the bunker's done so he can repair it. The probes can't out DPS that. Now he's got the second bunker done in range of a Cyber Core and 2 pylons. And the Mothership Core is going to be able to poke away at the SCV for a second, but now the probes are pulled en masse to try and deny this. But there's 5 Marines now shooting everything of doohickey. And I think this might be game here. This is just too tough for him to hold. The Stalker's out now, so that third bunker might have to be canceled. This is going to be close, though. This Mothership Core and Stalker combo can beat these Marines in theory. This is going to be so difficult, especially with so many probes lost. Doohickey doesn't have that much coming out here. He's chrono boosting the second Stalker. That third bunker is going to finish, and there's SCVs here in place to repair it. This is rough. Vespasian's going to be able to deny just about everything here as that first pylon goes down. And here's the GG from doohickey. Really fast game 1 here in the final match. Alright guys, nice and quick, we're back here on map number 2 of our final match of the night. We're up 1-0 for one player here and down 1-0 for one player here. And this is, like I said last game, the final match of the night, so the loser is going to be going home. And on the right side of Catalina here, on the lower right, we have our Teal Protoss representing RNG. It's doohickey, down 0-1. So if he loses this game right here, he is out of the ASL. And his opponent on the left side is our Orange Terran representing CT6, it's Vespasian. Oh, and there's gas started. And no barracks in the base right now. So this is probably going to be proxied. Going to be right out here in between these 2 bases. And doohickey already on top of his scouting here. Looking right where that SCV is headed. They might not pass by each other. See what Vespasian has. I think he's going to go for like a 1-1-1 here. That gas is so fast. I don't think it's going to be Reapers, but I'm not sure. Tyrannus, my Terran expert, is no longer here to correct me on my lack of Terran vs. Protoss knowledge. As doohickey actually scouts the wrong direction here first. And he did make sure to send that probe up here on the high ground first to scout for any crazy stuff happening. Vespasian getting a full scout off, got his nice patrol circuit going around doohickey's base here. Seeing everything going on here. Doohickey just opening standard right now. standard and safe, but not as safe as you might want. And this is going to be the game, as we see Vespasian gearing up for that 1-1-1, where he actually does want this more standard opening. And then he's going to want to go like straight into Robo and get Immortals out. And like we saw in the first match of the night with actually these two players, and doohickey narrowly lost in game 1 to 1-1-1 push from Vespasian, a Raven tank push that he accidentally misrallied his first Immortal where his Observer was rallied and lost it for free out in the middle of the map. And that was actually just the beginning of the downfall for him. Like, if he had had that Immortal back at home, it would have been an easy peasy win for him. But losing that one Immortal that allowed Vespasian's tanks to siege up properly, allowed the point defense drone to be too effective to dealing with what doohickey had in response. And that was the game. Vespasian not throwing down the starport immediately here, just going for a Widowmine and 2x2 Marine production, looks like. Hasn't started up his second round of Marines yet, though. There's the starport coming down. See what he ends up doing here. Vespasian is a player who can do anything off the back of a 1-1-1. This could be a Banshee focus, Raven focus. It might be for a fast medevac into a Widowmine drop, which is what I'm betting on now. It's probably what we're going to see. And but we're doohickey with that Robo already done. This is the position you want to be in to defend this. He just throws down that second gateway. And he's just playing nice and safe here. And this is actually third gateway now here on the way. This is exactly what he's doing. 3-gate Robo is the standard safe Protoss build that is the counter to the 1-1-1. But Vespasian, this is exactly what he did against doohickey in game number 1 of the entire night tonight, actually. On this crazy, wacky night we're having. Vespasian opened up with the Widowmine drop into the main, followed that up with the Raven and tanks, and took the win. But doohickey did deflect that Widowmine drop fairly well, only losing 3 probes, just because his probe split wasn't absolutely perfect. But off of 2 Widowmine shots, 3 probes is not bad at all. And especially since Vespasian, he lost his Widowmines off the back of that. And doohickey's Observer comes in, he sees the medevac loaded up with the Widowmines, so he should know this is coming out. And there's an Observer, 2 Stalkers, and an Immortal back at home. So if he loses very much to this, it's going to be all on him. Vespasian honestly should just see what's here and like turn around and use these Widowmines in his follow-up push with the Raven and tanks. There's going to be way more useful there than this Photon Overcharge goes down, and it's going to push away the medevac. Yeah, Vespasian needs to recognize he's not going to get anything done with this right now. And the first tank is out, second tank is on the way. And when the Raven finally makes its way out, this is going to be when Vespasian's going to move out for his push, and likely not going to expand at all this game, no matter how poorly this push goes for him. We'll see, though. The 2 Widowmines now out in the mid-map here, in case doohickey decides to push out with any of his units. Any more of those misrallied Immortals would be caught here, but he's going to have 3, maybe 4 Immortals by the time this push actually gets out and set up. Vespasian supply blocked right now, actually, not able to get that Banshee out to help out with this. As the medevac moves in, see the Zealot down here on the low ground. If he can pick up the Observer with the Raven here, that would be really nice, so he can get the Widowmines to be extra effective, especially after this push loses steam, which it probably will with these 3 Immortals out here. Now there's 2 sentries. That was crucial in game 1. Doohickey missed out on his sentries and wasn't able to actually defend very well with the force fields. They're just totally negated. The first tank sieges up here on the low ground, is barely able to reach up the top of that ramp. Doohickey just throws down the defensive force field and backs up. He's got plenty of time here for himself that he can just wait. He's got a pylon across the map right now that won't get scouted by these Marines on the way across this. He prepares to move up on the ramp, but he can't really get anything done with these force fields as a threat. Moving up the Widowmine to the high ground. That's going to be really nice if doohickey's Observer... does he actually have Observer anymore? Yeah, it's still outside the main, actually. Point defense drone goes down. It's going to deny this Photon Overcharge, but it's actually already out of energy and dead from the Stalker fire. The Raven is basically useless now. It's just a detector. The two Widow Mines are still ready to fire. And it's got 2 tanks sieged here. Banshee coming in now. Doohickey's not out of the woods here yet. Vespasian can still get a lot done. But as Doohickey's force moves in here, it's going to take out quite a few of his Marines. Sniping the Banshee, sniping the Raven. Oh, the Immortal get dropped to the low ground by the Warp Prism. And Doohickey cleaning this up with style with the Warp Prism drop here on the low ground. And that's going to do it for Vespasian's push. Nothing but SCVs here as those get cleaned up. And Doohickey losing relatively little here. He's got his Observer just out of position to clean up these Widow Mines. Those might actually get the Mothership Core if he doesn't move that out of position. The Widow Mines are about to reload that Observer. There's no excuse to not have that here. Mothership Core just barely out of range of that second Widow Mine. As he recognizes what's going on here. But he needs to just move that damn Observer down and clean up that Widow Mine. We'll see here. But Doohickey prepared for his own counter push here. And Vespasian needs to hold here. And he needs a miraculous hold here. The Cloak is on the way for the Banshees. With this Proxy Pylon and 3 gates up, Doohickey's going to have lots of protection here available to him to just overwhelm Vespasian. He's only got 1 of each production facility. As he's pulling SCVs, fighting at mid-map with this is not necessarily what he wants to do, though. I don't know if this SCV line is going to be able to work for him as Doohickey loads up here in the medevac, and he's pushing into Vespasian now. This is kind of awkward. This engagement's not really happening on Vespasian's terms here. The siege tanks aren't sieged, taking down the last of the Zealots here. And now there's 2 Immortals just destroying the tanks here. As 1 pickup saves 1, but now 2 tanks are down. All the Immortals are down. The SCVs cleaning up the Stalkers and Zealots. And now that the last Immortals are taken down, as the Marines start to fire those, and the Stalkers getting surrounded by these SCVs, this engagement went way better for Vespasian than I think he could have honestly hoped for. The Warp Prism does unload some units in the main of Vespasian, so he's getting some damage done. The Widow Mines are still in the main. They're going to move down, and they're going to deny the Mothership Core most likely. Barely moving out of range here are the Widow Mines, and now the Observer's in position. These Stalkers are going to take those up. Oh, and the derpy AI here getting one of the Stalkers taken out. Oh, and the second Widow Mine fires on the Mothership Core and takes it out. So Doohickey is actually in not that great a position here. He doesn't have a Photon Overcharge, and Vespasian is way down in supply, but he's got a fantastic army over here to do a lot of damage. As Doohickey is cleaning up the main base of Vespasian, but Vespasian's going to be able to float his CC for a while, and if he's able to clean up what Doohickey has here, he could be looking at a fast 2-0. But it's going to be really tough for him. He's so far down in supply, and both army and workers. And obviously his SCVs are part of his army right now. But even combining his SCVs and army, he's down a decent amount of supply to Doohickey. As Doohickey loads up 3 of his Stalkers in a Warp Prism to bring him home. But Vespasian establishing a beachhead here on the high ground. His point defense drone goes down. That's going to neutralize all these Stalkers, which is what most of Doohickey's force is. As Vespasian pulling back, he's actually taking down the Cybernetics Core here. Marines firing on that, the Banshee helping out. Vespasian getting quite a lot done with his minimal forces here as he lands the Orbital again at his third position. The Immortal pops out of the Robo. It's immediately going to go down. And Doohickey trying to flank this tank here is going to drop right on top of it with the Immortal and a Stalker. Repair going down to the tank, but the tank gets taken down by the Immortal. Marines targeting down the Immortal, and now there's a warp in of Stalkers. And I think there's enough Stalkers here to clean up everything else that Vespasian has. Cloak did not finish for the Banshee, so there's no Cloak even though there's Observers. GG, well played! Exclamation mark coming out there from Vespasian. There guys, we're back. This is the final map of the night. It is Expedition Lost. And in the top right, it is our Orange Terran Jobo Team 6's Vespasian. Tied 1-1 now. Against his opponent. In the bottom left of Expedition Lost, it is the Teal Protoss, RNG's Doohickey. That fantastic defense in Game 2. See what these players have in store for us now. As Vespasian sending that SCV across the map again. This is going to be the 888. 888, ladies and gentlemen. 8 out of 8. Great mate. Vespasian. This playstyle is so difficult to play against. Like, even though you know it's going to happen, just the slightest mistake and you die. The different races have their own advantages and disadvantages facing this. Like, the 888 works against Zerg, Terran, and Protoss. But Protoss, with the ability to get out the Mothership Core, and Stalkers being one of the second best early unit against the Reapers as well, but doohickey's going to scout this. This is actually the first time tonight Vespasian's been successfully scouted before his proxy actually happens. So the Pro begins working on the SCV. It's not going to be able to finish this barracks. Maybe. Nope, it's going to get it up. Going to get it up for sure. Getting that lucky SCV pathing that the probe isn't able to stop it. Is that first Reaper gets started. But he's not going to be able to get his second barracks up. He should probably just started at home, honestly, unless he wants to transition out of this. Not resuming SCV production yet. See what he gets going. Yeah, he's just going to throw it down at home. And just continue. Oh, it's actually going for a factory. Huh. No SCV production, though, so I don't know exactly what the correct follow-up with that is. I assume just getting some Widow Mines and walking those across the map. But the probe gives up following the SCV, so it's going to be able to come down here and actually get a bunker up or something. But there is already a Zealot out for doohickey. Without support, though, that it will lose to the Reaper. As it comes in and just gets one swipe off to kill the SCV. That is fantastic luck for doohickey that probe got enough damage done on the SCV that it was able to die to one good swipe to the Zealot. As the Reaper bypassing the Zealot here, scouting around, see what's going on, jumps down the cliff, jumps up the cliff, and now it's going to be able to kite this Zealot for a little while longer. The Mothership Core is out now. Vespasian, without that second barracks pumping out Reapers 2x2, he's in trouble in this game. He needs to get a lot done since he's so low on SCVs. Sending out one now across the map now to help out these Reapers. But the Reaper's only coming out one by one now. This is not going to be able to just totally overwhelm the Protoss. Like, once the first Stalker comes out, this is basically going to be effectively shut down. Vespasian, this factory was a nice follow-up, but because of the way his worker saturation is, he does save up and spend money on the orbital command, which he normally doesn't do for 888. He's not able to afford the maximized production like he typically does, because the Widow Mines actually cost a little bit more than the Reapers. We'll see here. He's got 2 Reapers, a Marine, and now a Widow Mine. If the Widow Mine can get a good shot off on the Stalker before doohickey's ready, there's a Widow Mine running up here, and it burrows. Stalker getting a couple shots off on it, but there's no detection for doohickey just yet. The Robo is about to finish, though, just a few seconds away. This bunker starts, and the Stalkers start to get work on the SCV. They're going to pick it off, so the bunker is done. No bunker for Vespasian, and this is not looking good for him. He has so few workers. He's still at 8 workers to 22. He needs to kill doohickey, now. That Widow Mine, though, only going to pick up a Zealot, if anything, I think. As that first Reaper goes down, I think Vespasian's just out at this point. There's so much here for doohickey, and it's only going to get worse. Warp Gate is 3/4 of the way done. There's a third Stalker halfway done now, as doohickey's second gate is out here. And that Widow Mine is actually going to get taken out as it tries to reburrow. And now there's an Observer out, and that other Widow Mine is going to get taken down by the Stalkers. No derpy AI here. And I think this is it for Vespasian. This is fantastic scouting from doohickey. Like I said, this was the first time all night Vespasian has actually successfully scouted exactly what he was doing. As he loses his 2 Marines here in this push and runs the Reaper away. And there's the GG well played by Vespasian. And that is it. Vespasian is out. Doohickey moves on to the round of 8.